Thanks, Honorable Minister, for joining Arise News on this interview. Now, talk to us about the overview of this Saudi Africa Summit. What exactly do we hope to achieve, and what's in it for Nigeria?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, you know that the summit is about Saudi Africa Summit. That's the name, and it's the first of its kind. They've been trying to put it together for some time now. The COVID thing didn't allow it to take off, but now it has happened here in Riyadh. Of course, the focus is not just Nigeria, it is Africa. Saudi authorities feel that they have a very long history of relationship. There's a long history of relationship between Nigeria and the African continent, and Nigeria inclusive, and so they thought that it is important for them to deepen that relationship historically, culturally, economically. It's important for the two neighbors to come together. Saudi sees itself as a very strategic neighbor to Africa. Africa sees itself as also a very strategic partner to Saudi Arabia. Now, if you come back to Nigeria, you know that we have a very long history of relationship with them also, dating back many, many years. And so Nigeria's participation, just like other members of the African continent, is so apt. Now, they looked at so many things. First, how to deepen that economic, cultural, and social relationship, like I said. Already, you know that Saudi is already supporting many African countries in their quest for economic development. So they thought that this would be an avenue to bring the leaders together to look at it comprehensively. And they have, for example, the Saudi Development Fund, which is about $50 billion initially. That will be made available to the African countries in the next few years. Nigeria is interested in having its own share of that. But beyond that, as you said, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had a sideline engagement with the Saudi Crown Prince, the Prime Minister and the Crown Prince. It was a very constructive engagement. Like you said, so many things were discussed. The Saudi authorities are very interested in, for example, leading the way in revamping the nation's alien refineries. As a matter of fact, the Saudi Crown Prince indicated that he will be directing the Saudi oil giant, Saudi Aramco, to lead the way in that direction. Beyond that, there's also the talk of having investments, especially in our central bank, to improve our foreign exchange liquidity. And then they talked about also engagement and investments in the agricultural sector to boost President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's drive towards ensuring food security for Nigeria. So it's a whole lot of engagement, and the side meeting was extremely constructive. The Saudi prince is very happy to engage with the Nigerian leader. The Nigerian leader was also very excited to meet with the Saudi Crown Prince. So much has been forged, and in fact, the Saudi Crown Prince, agreed with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have some timelines to that, so that this will not be just like the usual talk that when you come for summits of this. Leaders engage, and then sometimes it doesn't go beyond that. This one is very, very concrete. Timelines are already being set up. The Saudi Crown Prince and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu agreed to a 6-month arrangement where all the concrete issues will be discussed, and then timelines will be put in place. So in the next 2 years, we hope to see a massive investment of the Saudi government and Saudi businesses in the Nigerian economy.
We've seen several agreements being signed by Nigerian ministers and others, including President Bola Tinubu holding a bilateral meeting with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Talk to us about some of the achievements we've been able to get, especially in terms of the plan to revamp Nigeria's refineries by Saudi Aramco, and of course the issue of boosting Nigeria's forex liquidity by Saudi Arabian authorities as promised by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman?
Well, you know that once economy gets improved, so many issues also come along with it. We have always been saying that issues of social unrest, insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, terrorism have their roots quite often in economics. So if there is better engagement in that direction, it is possible that the Nigerian authorities will bring to the barest minimum, as it has been doing. You know, that, of course, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing so much to end insecurity in Nigeria. The armed forces are up and doing. Of course, it has not yet reached its destination, but so much is happening. Insecurity will come down, and if it does, that will mean that Nigeria will become a big hub. And as you know, because Nigeria is also a giant of Africa, if there's peace and stability in Nigeria, there will be peace and stability in the region. And that is of importance to Saudi authorities, as it is important to the world generally. So we have a population of over 200 million people. So if Nigerian economy gets improved, Saudi authorities are also desirous in coming into the country to do their own businesses. There are a lot of business people around here that are willing to come to Nigeria once the enabling environment is being created. So it's a win-win situation. They will invest initially, but they will also come with their businesses, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. Remember that because of the ease of business that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been focusing on, so much is being done to make sure that all those that come to Nigeria to put in their money also get their money out. Hitherto, investors were beginning to be reluctant about putting money down in Nigeria because they feel that when it is time for them to repatriate some of their profits or their interest, it becomes very difficult for them. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed a flurry of executive orders to smoothen that up. So we know that it's going to be a win-win situation for both Saudi Arabia and Nigeria.
Saudi Arabia is looking at influence peddling during the summit because of the need to promote itself as the lead country in the Middle East, and of course to shore up support for its 2030 vision. Talk to us about how the Saudi authorities can make the best of this, and then without Nigeria losing anything. What's the need for Nigeria, and then of course Africa? And then secondly, I would want you to talk to us about the need for Nigeria to also ensure that we get good diplomatic benefits from our relations with Saudi Arabia, considering that a lot of Nigerians come to this country to fulfill their religious obligation through Hajj and other matters.
Well, the Nigerian government is open to any country that wants to do business with it, provided that there is benefit for the Nigerian public. Of course, the issue of influence is there. You couldn't engage in that kind of massive investment if you are looking for if you are not looking for some kind of influence. It's all right to do that. You know that Saudi authorities have already demonstrated that they facilitated Africa's entry into the G20. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu thanked the Saudi authorities for that, and we're also looking forward to see Nigeria as a country also gaining entry into that, especially in other multilateral forums, world multilateral establishments. Influence is okay, provided it's also a win-win situation for all of us. It's all right for them to come. And like I said, Nigeria is a population of over 200 million people. No country that is desirous in doing business will ignore that. It is a very, very populous country, the biggest in Africa. We have very enterprising people. Companies can thrive there. So they will come there, do businesses, make their money. Our people will also get engaged. Our youth will get employed. our economy will be revamped. So we will win, they will win. I think that's okay. It's all right to have that. There is really nothing wrong for them. Secondly, the issue of the diplomatic issues. Yes, all these things have been discussed, and like I said, there is going to be a joint committee being set up between Saudi Arabia and Nigeria. The two countries will come together. There will be a team formed to look at details of all this. We are very optimistic that that will lead to better diplomatic relationship between the two countries, as it also brings social and economic benefits to both countries.